The 11th hour is an interesting concept. And I've noticed when it comes to manifesting, many times the things that we are working on manifesting into our experience come to us at the 11th hour, at the very last minute, but actually at the very right time. And that's because if you surrender and give up and get maybe even emotional and frustrated because it isn't coming, and you get angry and you communicate with God in a way that you really need a solution to whatever that thing is that you're trying to work on or manifest into your life, it comes right through on the 11th hour. I've seen this happen many times where at the last minute, I'd really need another place to live because I was moving over to Hawaii for a few months, and I walk off the airplane and there's a 3-bedroom house with a car to rent for the time I'm there. Or I'm leaving Boston and I make one phone call and nail down a place to live. Or I was selling my house and I needed to rent a place in a mansion. That was what I envisioned. One phone call and after a conversation, and that was acquired exactly the way I wanted it. So when something needs to show up in your experience, if you know how to release it, let it go, expect it to come in. See, I never doubt that things will work out. I'm a realistic optimist. I know what's going on in the world, but I don't let it throw me, because what are you going to do? If once you understand that you're in a world of your imagination is much more powerful, because the inner world is controlling the outer world. And the more you learn how to go within and use your divine abilities, like your creative imagination, to have wonderful experiences, imagining what you choose rather than just letting things come in, willy-nilly without any planning, you'll be much better off. You don't want to live by default. You want to live on purpose. That means you choose what you want to focus on, because whatever you're focusing on is going to come into your experience. A lot of you want to know how to make more money. Well, go within and figure out what possible opportunities could come into your experience right now. I've done that many times in my life, and the right opportunity always shows up. Sometimes it's not what I expect. After I left my flying career of 35 years, I went out and I did apply with a different companies that had businesses that I thought might be interesting to work in. And I'd done a lot of things up until that point in other areas, but I didn't want to do any of those things anymore. I always like to try new things. When I finally got really frustrated and surrendered and gave up, the very next day, I found out I could become a meditation teacher. And I did that for 5 years all over the country. Then I heard a voice that told me to go work in Boston. After I left that, you never know how it's going to show up, but your higher self is working with you to keep you, working your whatever you came here to do. You have free will. It's all up to you and how you use it. But if you know that only good things come into your experience for you to enjoy or learn from, sometimes it's a big test. But if you're optimistic that you can overcome anything that comes your way because you've done that inner work on yourself, and you truly know that you reflect omnipotence, you are sovereign, you have the power within you to overcome anything, you will find a way, or the way will find you. Sometimes it comes to you in a dream, just an inner knowing, a voice, guidance, meeting the right person at the right time. take action. Don't just sit around waiting for it to happen. Use your intuition to go out and find what you need to do in order to experience the next step and the next step and the next step. Guess what? I don't think there's any such thing as retirement, the way people like to think about it. I mean, when people tell me they're retired, it bores me. There's always something to do. We're eternal. We're preparing ourselves for the next phase when we check out of here. And, I'd rather be preparing myself for something interesting on the other side than just, flying around like an angel. So always think about what you can do that will be a win-win situation, that will help you and help other people, that will bring more light into the world, and you'll have a much better experience. I guarantee it.